What is up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at Atlas because I was working with this to create like a data portal for Dutch real estate developers, basically to quickly get an overview of what data they would need in terms of soil, in terms of zoning plans, in terms of policy, in terms of demography, and in terms of travel times, or at least a sample of travel times from potential locations. Very cool data, and you can definitely check out one of my other videos where I explain exactly how you can do the travel time part. Aside from that, obviously the mapping and gathering and combining data, something that is relatively easy to do, but it does take a lot of time to actually get everything together. But Atlas actually made it much easier. So what I started doing is I created this data portal. I put a few data sets in here. Still want to add like 10 times more, but there's a lot of data in there already. And next what I did is I saw there was a new toggle here. So we have a builder now. And what we can do from here is we can actually pretty much create some sort of dashboard, right? So what we have is we have page elements with text. We can actually type our own text in there. We can add images, and we can change around the background blur, whatever, all sorts of different extra settings in there as well. But the most fundamental thing, cool thing about this is that we can actually create our own applications using geodata. And that is the next big thing, at least I believe, because now I don't have to develop any sort of application. I just have to come up with, not the code, but with the data, and obviously the problem, right? I need to find out, okay, what problem do I want to solve? What data do I need to do that? And well, I can just create it in this application. So in our case, if we put all sorts of different data sets in here, we could add our legend here at the top right, or we could add it at the left as well. We could have a feature list in here, which would zoom to each of the different points. They currently do not have a name, that's why it's empty. But this is very cool data and a very cool way to build your own applications, because now we can quickly add in different graphs. We can select the data set around the untitled layer, for example, categorize everything, and essentially create like a categorized chart or a histogram or a pie chart, and quickly get a gauge of what my data is looking like, and essentially quickly get to the insights that I want to have. So if I say, let's say I have all of these potential locations, 7 of them that I am considering, but I currently only have the funds to put on my effort into 1 or 2 and develop only 1 or 2, or I would just simply want to know which of them would be most worth developing in, then I can create an application using the data, for example, of a travel time analysis. And you know what, I said I was going to do it in another video, but while we're at it, we can quickly do that. Let's say we want to just look at input our untitled layer, so our potential locations, these orange dots on the map, and we want to know how far can we get driving in 5, 10, 15, and 20 minutes. I could even look up as far as an hour. And let's say we're driving the traffic, we run this analysis, and we would get a new layer with our travel time. So this is very simple, right? I don't have to code anything. I get this data, and it's actually pretty nice data. Now I would have to color that data by travel time. So right now, obviously, I have colored it all green, but preferably I would want to filter based on time. Yes, now I get to quantize it based on the different distances. Let's remove the outline for now, and I have this overlay on my map. So right now, if I click any of those features in the map, I would see 5, 10, 15, and 20 as my travel times, and I would also pretty much see it on the map. Currently, I have not overlaid it, but you can actually use spatial analysis to overlay this with population density data or other population data, demographic data, to quickly find out how many people of my target audience are within this region, or alternatively, depending on whether you're developing a store or a property, you could also overlay it with data around amenities, and you could quickly get a gauge of which amenities are within reach of your new home or office, right? Now, currently, I do not have the data in here because I have not run a spatial analysis, but that's something that I would do to analyze a new property or a potential property development. For now, what we'll be doing is we'll go back to the builder, and we'll actually put our data set untitled layer in here as a formula. It doesn't have any columns, well, let's not do it. Let's just use this data set then, and let's say we're looking at time, we're looking at average time. Obviously for 20 minutes, only 20 minutes for 15, 15, 10, 10, 5, 5. But what we could do is we could look, as soon as we have gathered our data on population density, for example, get a gauge of, okay, how many people live within 20 minutes, or how many hospitals are within 20 minutes, how many other stores are within 5 minutes. And this way you quickly get a competitor analysis, or analysis to amenities, or an analysis of your target audience and whether or not they are close to your new potential property. And I can quickly filter as well. So that's very awesome, because I did not have to write a single line of code, but I can very quickly create this dashboard with pretty much no effort, with a software subscription that is not expensive either. I can add in my own text, and I can pretty much share this with my coworkers, my colleagues, or my project manager, and quickly everyone has an overview of what they can do, how they can do it, and yeah, I think it's a really awesome way to just go about your geodata. Alternatively, you can also add in numbers, you can add in a table, a feature search, chart, project elements, like title. Well, as you can see, I've done that here and there already, but this is just a way that I quickly wanted to show you what you can do with those charts, the pie chart, the histograms. Let's try to put one more in there actually. Let's say the time. Boom. Once again. I mean, right now it just looks cool and it doesn't really have an additional value because I did not add in enough data to get additional value out of this. But I do, as I've shown you, have a very broad overview of my travel distances and how far I can get from X point. And as soon as I add more data, which obviously depends on the type of project that you're working on, then I can get these insights. Then I can do my spatial analysis. I can add this data onto this data. So I would see the amount of hospitals in there as well, or the amount of amenities in terms of cafes or whatever, or competitors. And then within no time, I quickly have those insights, and I can very easily compare my different potential properties because I have this data. I now have a very easy way of getting that insight, since I do not have to gather the data anymore, since it's ready made here. I can reuse it as soon as I've got a new data set with potential properties. And well, the more data that I plug in there, the more I can reuse and recycle essentially, and the more I can repeat this workflow and essentially work very productively. I hope it's been a valuable video if you work in real estate or site selection or retail management or whatever. If you want any of my help, you can join my community down below. This is a community with a lot of people who are also doing site selection, location analytics, and GIS, which is pretty much what this is, geoinformation systems. And I'm in there as well, so you can get my personal help in there as well. There's a few more resources on where you can pull this data from and what you actually need to do to get to this point and actually gain valuable insights from doing this. But it is a very valuable and free community, so feel free to join. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been a valuable video, and I'll see you in another one.